Hey guys, thanks so much for all the love we got on our first reno vlog. We are really excited to share more with you in the coming days, so don't forget to subscribe. And if you're new, you can catch the first part of our reno journey at the top right corner. In our last vlog, we sped through the reno process and ended up at week 7 in a blink of an eye. We were at the last stretch of renovation here, with carpentry going up in parts, followed by the installation of surfaces like quartz and stainless steel. At this point, we made sure to double check on the measurements of the carpentry, since our major appliances like fridge, dishwasher and washing machine were coming really soon. We also checked on the functionality of everything else just in case. We opened all the drawers to make sure that the sliding mechanism was working well, touched every corner and edge to make sure it wasn't too sharp, and tested all the lights and switches just to be sure everything was working fine. Electricals are one of the last things to go up, so be sure to turn everything on and off in both day and night settings to ensure that they work and look the way that you want them to. Countertop surfaces were the last to be installed before the unit was handed over, and we were really excited, especially for our stainless steel countertop for both our island and coffee area. I don't know how they do it so perfectly when here I am, struggling to even align my screen protector to my phone screen. The stainless steel comes with a protective cover, which they tell you not to remove until reno is done, but you should probably remove it ASAP in case it has any scratches like ours did. It was buffed away quickly after we gave our contractor a heads up, and the edges were also smoothened to prevent any mishaps. As the handover date approached, we were super busy with receiving all the deliveries that had been waiting for our reno to be done. One of the first few deliveries we scheduled was our appliances from Gain City. Our washing machine, dishwasher and fridge came all on the same day, and these guys were swift in getting them into our unit and the designated spots. We had a really good and informative salesperson from Gain City who told us to check the items for defects, scratches and more before the items were brought into the house. Our lift lobby is pretty dark, so we used our phone's flashlight to check every inch of the appliance before giving the go-ahead. He also told us not to turn the fridge on right away because the coolant inside needs some time to settle down, so we let it settle over a few days and then turned it on after. That night, we immediately did a quick drum clean for our washing machine and found some issues with it. Our sales representative immediately helped us with it, and an LG repairman came by a few days later. Super efficient and reliable. We're thankful to have met very helpful and generous people in our reno journey so far. I'll leave the contact details of our Gain City sales rep in the description below for anyone who needs it. Our unit actually doesn't receive a lot of direct sunlight throughout the day, so we didn't place too many ceiling fans in the house. But we knew we had to have one in the living room at least, since we'd spent a lot of time together there. We were really happy and lucky to work with spin fans on this. We went with their 43-inch in a medium shade of brown called caramel, and everything was installed very quickly with minimal dust as well. It goes so nicely with the overall look of the house and matches our carpentry perfectly. I don't know why we kept forgetting about this, but we were almost about to move in without any curtains or blinds installed, which would have been quite a disaster. It was a mad rush not only to decide on what type of curtains or blinds we wanted, but also to get quotations from different suppliers for us to compare. After meeting a few different suppliers and being introduced to a whole new world of Shangri-La blinds, Unislab blinds, we were even more confused than ever. I always thought it was either day or night curtains, roller or Venetian blinds. But this experience really opened our eyes to the interesting options out there. We eventually decided that we didn't want to have both day and night curtains together for anywhere else other than the master bedroom. Having both together felt pretty heavy, and it honestly takes up quite a bit of space. So after chatting with Wayne from Mood Collectives, we were pleasantly surprised with the variety of options he had and the solutions he had to offer for each of our rooms. Stay tuned for the later part of the video where I share more about what we went with for each part of the house during the installation of the curtains and blinds. Our unit was finally handed over to us just before the new year came around. Our contractor kept to the timeline, and we were really grateful for their hard work and efficiency. So here's a quick throwback to how it was like before and how it looks like right now. It's definitely more spacious and bright, just the way we wanted it. We did our own self-inspection of defects after and noted them down on my notes app. It wasn't even that many defects, to be honest, but thanks to iPhone's high-res images that takes up 1 to 2 images per page, it somehow morphed into an ugly 60-page PDF, which my contractor printed out and brought with him to the unit. Oh my god, I've never been so embarrassed before. Clown moment aside, I'm glad that my ID and contractor took these defects seriously and came by early to mark them out so that we could address all of it quickly. Rectification work was arranged to be done over the next few days, and we also spoke to our developer's main con to help rectify some issues that weren't caused by our reno team. They were super nice in helping us also rectify some uneven patches on the wall and chips along the edges as well. I was grateful that they did their best to apply putty over the holes and sanded them down as well, but I felt like there was still an obvious unevenness between the patched area and original wall, so I decided to take things into my own hands. I went to a hardware shop, bought sandpaper of different grit levels, and went straight to work. I used a coarser ones to remove the additional layer of putty and then buffed it down gently with a lower grit one to ensure that it's smooth to touch and that it's level with the original wall. Same for the corners as well. Painters were coming by the next day to paint over these spots, so I knew I had to make it right before then. I thought I had covered all the patchy spots, but it was only after we moved in that I noticed some uneven areas under bright light at night. So you should probably do a defects check twice, once in the day and another at night, just to cover all bases. We've come to realize that timing is key when it comes to ensuring it all goes smoothly during the reno process. We initially rushed to get things done within 2 months, but forgot to cater time to do stuff like intensive post-reno cleaning and get our curtains in before we could actually live here. So we decided not to be too hasty and postponed our move in to a month later. That really allowed us to breathe so much better and have the time to arrange for important things like a deep cleaning of all the floors and do a formaldehyde removal treatment for all areas as the smell was overpowering. Our floors looked so good after the deep clean, and we were getting so excited about moving in soon. We also managed to get our dining table in all the way from Penang, just in time before our move and before CNY as well. I'm so glad it comes disassembled because I don't see how they could have navigated past the island otherwise. I was actually wondering why these 3 guys were perspiring so much from installing the table, until I tried shifting it myself and my arms nearly detached from my body. It was so heavy, man. I can't even believe that they lifted it up over our island like it was just as light as a feather. This is definitely a physically exhausting job, and they do it so well. So here's a closer look at the table we customized. It's actually as much a first look for you as it is for us because they weren't very communicative about the progress. We went with a stingray edge along the tabletop and a neat recessed tip for the legs of the table. We wanted the look of the wood to stand out on its own while maintaining the subtle, understated elegance of our chosen designs. I actually wanted the wood to be stained a little darker, but this piece grew on me over time and serendipitously turned out to be more in sync with our laminates than I thought. Another important delivery was our study tables that we got off 42. As someone whose study tables have been from IKEA all her life, this is definitely an upgrade without having to break the bank. These are the Hale adjustable tables and they are just the right size for the room. We can easily fit 2 of them without feeling too squeezy. Best part is that installation is free and is done so efficiently as well. We tested out the adjustment feature right away and loved how quiet yet fast it was. Our curtains also came just in time, and while the service prior to this was great, the installation was just not the best. They were careless with their work and drilled holes in the wrong spots, and they didn't even tell us about it until LT spotted it. Anyway, back to the items we chose. We went with the regular day and night curtains for the master bedroom, wabi-sabi roller blinds for the study, and Shangri-La blinds for the walk-in wardrobe since it creates soft diffuse light. It also has the option to let more light in when the blinds are opened up. We also opted for S4 day curtains with a slightly higher opacity than the regular sheer day curtains for both our dining and living area. But the length was too long, so it had to be sent to recut and installed another time. After what felt like the longest few months of our lives, our renovation was officially completed and we were finally in the next phase, moving. As if it's not tough enough to pack your whole life into little boxes, we decided to make things even tougher for ourselves by not engaging a mover. Since both our parents' homes are pretty nearby, we decided to rent a get-go and shift things over in parts by ourselves. We moved these bigger ticket items first, like appliances that we bought during the 11/11 sale, followed by personal belongings and others after. Not only was this extremely back-breaking and tiring, it was also very bittersweet to be leaving our childhood homes to build a place of our own together. This is just the start of a new chapter, and we're definitely going to create so many new memories in this place. A place that we can now call our home. The reno journey may be over for now, but this new chapter of our days at home has only just begun. So I hope you'll come along with us as we share more about navigating through adulthood and life together. As always, thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you at the next one. Bye!